Welcome to Arts 24, where we're bringing you the latest from the 79th Cannes Film Festival. Well, with premieres and screenings in full swing, calls for more gender equality in the selection have been reiterated this year. The global Me Too movement sent ripples through the festival in 2018, with the 50/50 Collective highlighting injustice and even sexual abuse in the film industry. Indeed, many French women have since come forward with their own accounts of harassment at the hands of male directors, with a number of men in the industry actually accused of rape. Actress and filmmaker Judith Godrèche is one of those whistleblowers. She's now gone behind the camera for her adaptation of A Girl's Story, the autobiographical novel by Nobel Prize-winning author Annie Ernaux. We got a chance to sit down with Judith at the festival, where she told us why this story feels more timely than ever, almost 70 years after the events it describes.
C'est justement pour ça que ça me semblait évident qu'aujourd'hui en 2026.
It seemed obvious to me that today in 2026, A Girl's Story should be adapted for the screen. Because although the story takes place largely in 1958, it feels absolutely current and modern, unfortunately modern, since issues of sexual and gender-based violence and harassment remain part of our daily lives.
Et de harcèlement font partie de notre quotidien.
And the way Annie uses the I in her writing is essential. Her I is really a we. She speaks to all women, to all girls. And also, ultimately, cinema is there to make us feel less alone.
Dans le fond, le cinéma est là aussi pour nous faire sentir moins seuls.
Judith Godrèche speaking to Louise Dupont from our sister show À l'affiche there. Next, every year, Cannes draws up a new poster, a striking still from movie history, which is then plastered up all over town, and it appears on T-shirts, fridge magnets and mugs. This year, they've picked a moment from Ridley Scott's feminist fable, Thelma and Louise, which premiered in the festival back in 1991. Alison Sargent tells us more.
It's the visual identity of the festival. Every year, a new poster sets the tone in Cannes, an image that captures the essence of cinema in one frame. For 2026, it's a black and white scene. Thelma and Louise sitting on the dashboard of a convertible. Their expressions a mix of defiance and determination. But why this film this year? The 1991 movie tells the story of two women fleeing a world that has no place for them.
We'll just be gone one more day and then we'll be home for a night.
God damn it!
Going their own way, on their own terms. From the initial thrill of the open road, they also face harsh challenges. A film about freedom, friendship, and emancipation, which over time becomes a matter of life and death.
Now, with so many women working outside the home, there are more male children that are ready to accept strong women, but still this macho kind of insensitive pressure that's put on boys in all cultures, I think, really. And we're teaching girls to be overly nice and polite and teaching boys to be brutes in order to be masculine, and it follows straight through into, you know, this idea that negotiating is not manly.
But how was the film received at the time?
All the press was talking about now things are going to be so different because it was a big hit, and now it's going to be more female road pictures, buddy movies, more movies in general starring women. But it didn't. It did not change.
Change has been slow to come to the film industry. The 50/50 Collective, which campaigns for more gender equality in cinema, has accused the festival of feminist washing with its poster choice, pointing out that women are still underrepresented at Cannes. Of 22 directors competing for this year's Palme d'Or, only 5 are women. Still, 35 years after Thelma and Louise was first screened, this tribute to the film is a reminder that powerful stories don't age, and that these pioneering, rebellious women are raising the same urgent questions today.
Now to an actor who's become a regular at Cannes and something of a role model when it comes to wider definitions of red carpet glamour. From stepping out at the festival with Diane Keaton in the 1990s to recent appearances as an ambassador for L'Oreal Cosmetics, Andie MacDowell sat down with France 24's Eve Jackson to talk about movies, motherhood and her feelings on the privilege of ageing.
Andie MacDowell, hello.
Hey.
It's great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Cannes has been part of your life for decades. Can you tell us about one of your best memories here?
I came here with Wenders for a movie called The End of Violence, and his wife came and she took these beautiful photographs, and he's just such a nice man. He's one of the nicest people out there. And I also came with Diane Keaton, who I miss so much. I really miss her so much. I can't believe she's gone. And I admired so much. And now she's just gone, and we don't talk about her enough, you know? It made me sad.
You've worked with some incredible talent over the years. Sex, Lies and Videotape put you on the map in a radical way. And what do you remember about that moment when Steven Soderbergh's film won the Palme d'Or in Cannes back in 1989?
I didn't go because I just had Rainey. I was just so into being a mom, and I was really hard on myself, so I didn't come. And I had no idea what it really meant, you know, what had happened. And Steven called me to tell me that it won. And I said, so does that mean it's going to have a distribution? And he just laughed. He said, yeah, it's going to have a distribution. It's going to be out there. I was like, oh, that's great.
How do you like being married?
Well, you know the cliche about the security of it. Well, that's true.
You've had this extraordinary career from 4 weddings and a funeral and Groundhog Day made. Looking back, was there a film that really changed everything? Was there a turning point in your career?
Oh, definitely Sex, Lies, and Videotape. You know, I was struggling before that. It carried so much weight that it transformed my career. And critically acclaimed and money. That's it. So if you get those 2 things, then
that's the dream.
That's the dream.
Your performance in Maid introduced you to a whole new generation, a whole new audience. Tell us what it was like acting with your daughter, Margaret.
Oh, I watched her work so hard. That was hard because she was in every scene. So I had to support her to the best of my ability, but there was really nothing I could do except for cook for her on Sundays. I was so happy to be there. It was a great character. It was a really amazing character for me. It really was fun. I hope I get another job like that again before I'm gone. Because it took a lot of energy. It took a lot out of me. It did have a long-term effect on my emotional state.
Do you think it was linked to the fact that you were playing a mum and you were playing a mum of your own daughter who was playing a different character?
No, it was because she was bipolar. And I had to really dig deep to find that within myself. And she was also somewhat schizophrenic in the way in her perceptions of the world. She was somewhat schizophrenic. And my mother had been diagnosed with schizophrenia. And that's one of the reasons that Margaret wanted me to play this role, and she suggested me for the role. It was because of the complexity of the character, and what I had to draw from was so deeply embedded in me that it was like one of those things you couldn't quite shake off. You know, I'd never had that feeling before.
You've worked with quite a few women behind the camera, Diane Keaton, Nora Ephron.
Angelica Houston.
Is it different working with female directors?
I think so. Yeah, I do think that there is, we're nurturers. I think it's our nature is to nurture. I think our concept of how we see the world has a different dynamic. Hopefully we elevate women in a better way, you know, because it is elevating ourselves. I think female voices are very, very important. And I appreciate the men that recognize that we are important.
You've been a L'Oreal Paris ambassador for more than 40 years. You've become an icon for women who refuse to apologize for time passing, growing older. Did you always have that confidence, or did you have to build it?
It's interesting for me because I must have always had the idea that it's just a part of nature. Because I remember I was in Taormina and I got interviewed by this beautiful young woman, and she asked me, what was it like to get older and lose my beauty? And I was so surprised by that statement. And I wasn't insulted. What the immediate thought for me was I felt for her, because I was like, oh my God, is that what you think happens? Is that your concept of what life is going to be? Is that you're only beautiful now and that you don't get to be beautiful in the future? And I never felt that way. I feel like we have all these different stages in our lives and we can't cling to the past. We have to live where we are. We are where we are. The reality is that we do age, and we're lucky to age, right? I'm still here.
It's a privilege.
I'm here, and I'm, living fully. I love my life. I love my friends. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I have so much to learn and so many places to grow and become. I just got these brand new grandbabies. It's just a different stage, right?
Andie MacDowell, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, we're wrapping up the show with a female-led production from Yemen. The Station stars Manal Al-Malaiki as the owner of a petrol station which only serves women. In a country engulfed by war, that service comes with certain rules: no men, no weapons, and no politics. Its director, Sara Ishaq, spoke to France 24 about the real place that inspired the film.
It was a real Yemen-based women-only station that I came across during the beginning of the war in 2015, and I found it a very interesting space. They were conflicted, but also there was community and there was sharing and schooling their kids in the cars when schools were shut, and there's this collective sense of, needing to do something for each other. They were all there for one reason. They were all there waiting for fuel. So there was something really interesting for me there, also on a political and sort of capitalistic level.
Well, Sarah's film, The Station, is screening in the Critics' Week sidebar selection. It's a rare glimpse of daily life in a society more often referencing connection to its civil conflict. We'll leave you with a short clip. Otherwise, do check in with us for updates from Cannes every day until the end of the festival. See you then.
اليوم صار الأزواج عندكم في الشهر عندكم تصلحوا تمام وتجيبوا بياس علشان ايش؟ تتدينوا مني خارجوني يعني اتدين برضه تمام